Truth Hunter includes investigations of symbols discovered on the surfaces of UFO debris in the Roswell crashes of the 1940s and beyond, to many other locations that lead up to U.S. Army Sergeant C.J., I call him, and his wife on June 29, 2015. They were faced with an 820-foot diameter disc above their truck in Wadley, Georgia. Across the middle of the huge disc were symbols that I recognized, a couple of them as nearly the same as symbols drawn by Staff Sergeant James Peniston after midnight on December 26, 1980 in Rendlesham Forest near RAF Bentwaters Woodbridge. So let's start now with a comparison of the Wadley craft symbols with those in the Rendlesham Forest incident. The far left symbol on the Wadley, Georgia disc seems to match the far left bottom symbol that Staff Sergeant James Peniston sketched after he touched raised symbols on a 9-foot-long black glassy triangular craft in Rendlesham Forest. That was in England, and it was about 3 a.m. on December 26, 1980. Also, Sergeant Peniston's ring around that triangle with the two black circles resembles the second symbol from the right on the Wadley disc that has a ring around a triangle with 3 circles. Sergeant CJ and his wife were very confused about what had happened. CJ recalculated his GPS and continued driving west to Atlanta, Georgia, again on a different road. He finally checked into the Madison Hotel in Kennesaw, north of Atlanta, at 7:36 a.m. on June 29, 2015. They slept in the day and then got back on the road headed for Kentucky. The credit card sales receipt to the Motel 6 in Paducah, Kentucky, shows CJ and his family checked in at 5:13 a.m. on June 30th, 2015. Exhausted, everyone fell asleep. But Sergeant CJ found himself waking up in a Motel 6 bathroom holding a ballpoint pen in one hand and the letter-sized motel receipt in the other. CJ was staring at the back of the receipt covered with squares and lines that trailed off to the angry, perplexed letters. What the WTF? For our first recorded interview about this high strangeness, he asked that his voice be electronically altered because he is active Army and he wants to remain anonymous. So what you are about to hear is a distorted male voice. Sergeant CJ talks about a vivid dream that he had before becoming conscious in that bathroom. In the dream, light gray colored alien beings wearing dark lenses over eyes similar to, but larger than human eyes, are warning about a threat to Earth. Have you seen the symbols in sleep or in your mind's eye?
Usually in my sleep, and the first time that it happened was in that hotel. I do not remember getting out of bed and walking into the bathroom with a pen in my hotel sheet and doing that. I literally woke up standing there after that happened.
Have the symbols been repeated in addition to the squares and vertical lines?
Again, it's great.
Can you describe that dream?
Yeah, dark all the way around, and they're being scrolled past from right to left. They're slightly illuminated, like a light blue color.
Are you getting any impression of what they are saying in the dream?
I'm thinking Council of 5, I believe.
Council of 5, and what are they saying?
More of a warning, preparation for something. What may come, or what could come, or what is soon to come, or something to that effect. And they're doing what they can to try to help us. They're almost to the point where they're outnumbered, and we're going to need to look good and get to where we need to be sooner in order to be able to stand a chance.
Did you see any humanoids of any shape or size or type in any of your dreams?
Yes, ma'am.
Which type?
Again, similar to our color, gray colors.
warning there aren't enough of us, there's more of them, something is going to happen, it's going to be a big problem, and that these beings have been trying to help, and now they can't because they don't have enough numbers versus what is there.
Similar, perhaps, but I think it's more along the lines of what we're doing that's kind of harmless, such as sending signals out to space is not a safe thing to do. That we have technology that we need to expand on, but it's being kept for another one, not behind locked doors or closed doors, but only to certain individuals or something to that effect, and allow all minds to come together to get things done a little bit quicker.
Or what is going to happen?
Whatever's going to happen might negatively affect us. I don't know what that might be, though.
And if there is a warning or an alert, that would imply that something is coming that may be harmful.
I don't know. I know something that will affect us here on Earth. I know that our current advancement in technology and how we're progressing is happening too slow. And the way to fix that is opening it up and allowing everyone here who is kept in the dark or not being told the information. We need to allow outside minds in order to solve the issues that we're having, to increase our advancement in technology and speed up our process for advancement.
If that doesn't happen, what bad could happen?
I really don't have an answer to that.
About the Council of Five, Sergeant CJ told me he had never heard about it outside of the dream. When you Google ET or Alien Council of Five, this is one of the websites that comes up that lists 5 alleged alien races that include, all caps, EMERTHER, Emerther. The website Alien Axioms describes the Emerther as, quote, one of the founder races of the Council of Five, ancient and more advanced on many levels than most cosmic intelligences. Allegedly, it was the Emerther that wanted to meet with, or did meet with, American President Dwight Eisenhower to perhaps discuss atomic bomb tests. The Emerther warned humans that atomic bombs must be stopped because the nuclear blasts were tearing into other dimensions. The website states, without giving sources, quote, very little is known about the 5 alien races that make up the Council of Five. These 5 races have been protecting Earth and humans for a long time, and they last met together on this planet in 1944, close quote. I asked Sergeant CJ why he thought advanced intelligences would be communicating with Earth humans in binary code. And he replied, quote, well, maybe it's like a yin and yang system, black and white. The zeros and ones can be used all over the universe to communicate, close quote. On Earth, this is what standard ASCII 8-bit binary code looks like. It starts with the number 0, which is equivalent to the 8 characters 0011 space 0000. Letters are different from lowercase letters. Punctuations such as periods and commas each have their own 8-bit code designated. I had Sergeant CJ squares and ones translated. Here is the first page showing how letters and words emerge in ASCII binary code. Continuous protection of humanity. 49 degrees, 27 minutes north. 11 degrees, 5 minutes east. Expose hidden knowledge to all caps. Citizens, advancement imperative for planetary survival. Beware of Orion 1350.3 and Z Reticuli 39.1 question mark. The question mark is from the translator. Then the number 70, avoid, and the bracket signal was an interpretation by the translator. It said, avoid messages sent. Now here is the whole translation for all of the squares and lines. Sergeant wrote on the back of that Motel 6 letter-sized receipt in Paducah, Kentucky. Continuous protection of humanity, 49 degrees, 27 minutes north, 11 degrees, 5 minutes east. Expose hidden knowledge to all citizens. Advancement imperative for planetary survival. Beware of Orion 1350.3 and Z Reticuli 39.1, question mark 70. Avoid messages sent. And now we know the numbers 1350.3 and 39.1 question mark 70 do have a match in the distance from the Earth to the Orion Nebula, which is 1,350 light years from Earth, and to the binary star system of Zeta Reticuli, that is 39.17 light years from Earth. Earlier references to Zeta Reticuli 1 first turned up in the 1961 Betty and Barney Hill abduction in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. That was the first worldwide reported human abduction by gray alien beings. Betty Hill said one of the gray entities showed her a three-dimensional hologram of stars that had connecting lines that the gray telepathically downloaded into Betty's mind were trade routes connecting some star systems in our arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Instead of solid lines, some stars were connected by dashed lines. The gray being telepathed to Betty that those were exploration routes and that our sun and solar system were being explored. The last line, avoid messages sent, seems to relate to Sergeant CJ's dream information about the danger of Earth sending out SETI signals without knowing who is on the other end. That same warning came in 2015 from Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and physicist Stephen Hawking about both SETI and relying too much on artificial intelligence. Let's go back to the first line that says, continuous protection of humanity, 49 degrees, 27 minutes north, and 11 degrees, 5 minutes east. If that latitude and longitude are supposed to be a location on Earth where ETs from the Council of Five are supposed to be protecting humans, how odd that it turns out to be town center of Nuremberg, Germany. Nuremberg was a significant city for the Nazis in World War II, and the location of the international war crime trials after the war ended. But Nuremberg was also famous more than 400 years ago in 1561, when immense black cylinders appeared in an early dawn sky and released many strange, smaller blue, black, red, and orange spheres, rods, and crosses. Many people watched steel machines clash and battle above a great black sphere that remained stationary for the entire hour-long conflict. Some UFOs crashed and burned. You can see it in the lower right of this famous woodcut by German artist Hans Glaser. So who in that aerial UFO battle might have been protecting humanity, as stated in the Sergeant CJ binary code, quote, continuous protection of humanity, quote. What could the battle be about? Now let's go deeper into binary code messages by comparing Sergeant CJ's string of zeros and ones to Sergeant Jim Penniston's back on December 26, 1980. That was the night that Sergeant Penniston with Airman First Class John Burroughs and Airman Ed Van were ordered into Rendlesham Forest, England to investigate strange colored lights moving around in the tall forest on civilian land that ran along RAF Bentwater's Woodbridge. That was then NATO's airbase. This is a page 1 of the binary code written down by Sergeant Penniston after he touched the raised symbols on the surface of a mysterious black, glassy triangular craft on the forest ground. The red vertical lines mark off the groups of 8 zeros and 1s to match against the ASCII code translation for letters and numbers. At the right, summary translation, and this is now Sergeant Peniston in 1980. Exploration of humanity, unclear. Then numbers and then the number 8100. This is page 2 of Peniston's binary code that translates to a latitude and longitude, and in all caps the word continuum. Page 3 translates in all caps for planetary advance. Fourth coordinate continuous, CEPR question mark, we don't know what that is. The word before. And then page 5, Peniston binary code, after the word before, Peniston's writing stops. End of transmission. After those first 5 pages of code were translated, Peniston then released one more batch of zeros and ones. This is Peniston's personally approved and official release of his binary code translation that adds 6 latitude and longitude coordinates for Caracol, Belize, Sedona, Arizona, the Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt, the Nazca Lines of Peru, Taishan Q, China, where the green symbols were on that UFO, the Temple of Apollo in Naxos, Greece. And then came the Eye of your eye, in all caps. And then a repeat of the controversial latitude longitude that some interpret as being high Brazil, mythical off the western coast of Ireland, or Woodbridge, England. And in the last line, the number 8100 is repeated as, all caps, origin year 8100. If you subtract Earth year 1980 from 8100, you get 6,120 years, perhaps in the future, the time travelers. But Peniston, in hypnosis, said that he was telepath that they were for 40,000 years in our future. But it can also be argued that the time travelers from a distant future were not referring to Earth-based 365-day year cycles of time. It is also important to understand that Sergeant Peniston did not have any decimal places in his stream of zeros and ones in his notebook. So each latitude and longitude could be any one of 24 possibilities. According to an astronomer, Mike Reed, who did the original binary translation. For example, in the second line, latitude and longitude, when the decimal was tried in a different position than the high Brazil option, it precisely matched the town center of Woodbridge, not the air base and the looking for it. The scientists felt strongly the Woodbridge option made more sense because the black triangle craft, if it's a time travel device, it would likely be emitting a continuous stream of location information to whoever sent the black triangle to report. Astronomer Reed thought that land options were more logical than ocean. But the ancient aliens producers preferred the mythical ocean idea of High Brazil because it fit with their ancient aliens theme. High Brazil was supposed to be an ancient island that only appeared once every 7 years. Adding to its mystery were the tales of people in boats who tried to reach the island, but they never could. However, astronomer Mike Reed argued that the Woodbridge Town Center was so close to where the black glossy triangular craft and its symbols were telepathically sending the binary code into Sergeant Peniston's mind that Town Center Woodbridge made sense to him. Let's now compare Sergeant CJ's first June 30th, 2016 binary translation on the top with Sergeant Peniston's first binary from his December 26, 1980 encounter. The words that stand out as similar are continuous, humanity, advanced planetary survival. Another warning about planetary survival came in this binary code discovered in Wheatfield next to Crabwood Copse in the village of Pitt near Winchester, Hampshire, England on August 15, 2002. The gray alien head and binary code disk is in front of BBC Winchester's tall broadcast antenna, and those 60 thin horizontal lines are thought to simulate an early 20th century TV broadcast. The implication seemed to be that the clock formation was a reply to Earth TV signals. The start of the Crabwood August 15, 2002 binary spiral of code begins 0100 space 0010, which equals the capital letter E. The entire ASCII 8-bit translation of the Crabwood spiral binary code is: beware the bearers of and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe the spell. There is good out there. We oppose deception, all caps. Conduit closing, close quote. But was the warning from the alien depicted in the fleet holding the binary disc? Or was the warning about the alien in the fleet pattern? The three star-like objects on the alien shoulder resemble the famous Orion belt stars, so many people think there is a threat from something associated with the Orion constellation. Then in early 2016 came a retired Navy whistleblower, William Mills Tompkins, who said that from World War II on for several years, he worked building scale models of UFOs and learned that the United States government had extraterrestrial allies that protected humanity and Earth from marauding, bullying, humanoid reptilians that originated in the constellations Orion and Draco. A similar message was repeated 13 years later on June 23, 2015, near the airport of Turin, Italy, also known as Torino. The city is where Jesus Christ's alleged burial shroud is kept. Geneticist Horace Drew, PhD from Sydney, Australia, tackled these very difficult rings of binary code that included 128 small circles and straight lines between 16 triangular rays of the outermost ring. His binary translation of that outer ring is: beware ET bearing gifts. Dr. Drew said the Torino, Italy, June 23, 2015 summer solstice fleet pattern, quote, "It looks like a clock, where we have to rotate the inner wheel to match the outer wheel," close quote. Even though the inner ring binary code is not clear, Dr. Drew thinks some of it warns about a Trojan horse event coming to Earth. He wonders if the Trojan horse is an invasion attack by non-humans from Orion and Zeta Reticuli, warned about also in Sergeant CJ's binary code of June 30th, 2015. And that was only 7 days after the Torino, Italy warning. Sergeant CJ did receive more telepathic downloads coming into his head at night. He said the squares and lines came faster than before, so it was hard for him to write it all down. He also could see that some of the squares were dark, and he managed to get some of the new communication written down, along with his comments about what was happening. From October 27th to the first week of January 2016, Sergeant CJ was waking up a lot, yelling. I talked with his wife, and she said he would